The very forces of clustering and density and knowledge creation that have given rise to the greatest time of innovation and economic progress in human history are the same forces that divide us. That is the contradiction that sits at the heart of the new urban crisis. That is the contradiction of our time. The very thing that motivates, the reason cities grow, for one fundamental fact that Jane Jacobs identified 50 years ago in her most important work, well, second most important work. We'll come in a minute to her most important impression work, The Economy of Cities. She identified, I asked Jane, what did you think was your most fundamental contribution? She said, Richard, I think I figured out something that all other economists overlooked, including you, is that what really drives economic growth isn't the accumulation of research and development or technology or economies of scale by corporations. It's the clustering of talented, diverse groups of people and firms and startups and cities. Well, we were all, I was, maybe not all of us. And I talk in the book about the urban optimist, of which I included myself until very recently. The urban optimist who believed this clustering force was a force for good, that it was a force for innovation, that its benefits would be widely shared. How naive was that? That this clustering force has divided, and my wake-up call was not Donald Trump, it was Rob Ford. I read with great interest the work of our great colleague here, David Holchansky, on his work on the 3 cities of Toronto. There was a middle-class city where boats were rising, where people participated in industry, where many, maybe not everybody, but many people's fortunes were rising. We had stable middle-class neighborhoods. And sometime in the past couple of years, couple of decades, with the rise of the knowledge economy, the urbanized, I correct myself, it is not a knowledge economy. It is an urbanized knowledge economy, where the key motor force isn't knowledge, it's the packing of knowledge, the clustering of knowledge in dense, spiky urban centers. And what David said was, yes, that old Toronto had been eviscerated and it had been replaced by a new Toronto. A Toronto of small areas of concentrated advantage in and around the urban core, around transit spikes. I can add my own in the United States, around research institutions, knowledge institutions, areas of coastlines and amenity, hillsides. And everyone else was being pushed outside of that. They were infilling the disadvantaged areas of the city that remained. They were being pushed out to the peripheral areas of the suburb. Our cities were being transformed into areas, small areas of concentrated affluence and larger areas of disconnected, concentrated disadvantage. That produced the backlash which gave us Rob Ford. That produced the backlash which gave us Brexit. That produced the backlash which gave us Donald Trump. I've been writing all about this in City Lab. I had two pieces last week. I will have one tomorrow on the metropolitan scale